Been seeing clients long enough, you've probably come across the phenomena of clients talking too much. Now, this can really happen in any part of the session, but it tends to happen right at the start, especially when you're starting the more ACH way, which is asking a client what the problem is and investigating the problem as we know we should. So what do you do if a client talks too much? Is it important for them to talk so much? Is it more important to stop them to get on with the session? What do you do, and how do you get rid of all the confusion that it may cause you as a therapist? Because essentially, if you ask them what the problem is, they might reveal way too much, talk about random problems, give you way too much information, which may leave you stuck as what to do next. So let's talk about what to do if your clients talk too much, and I'll give you a couple of ideas. So number one, I think is the most important. If your client's talking too much, guys, don't assume you know what they're trying to say or that you know what their problem is. This is crucial. If you can just get past this part right here, stop your ego, stop going down the path of, I know why you've got this problem because all problems exist because of X, Y, and Z. If you stop that, it'd be a lot easier to stop them from talking, okay? So don't assume you know what they're trying to say or you know what the problem is, because you don't, you never will. All you're doing is guessing. If your mentors tell you that all problems exist because of X, Y, and Z, don't listen to them, because now they're guessing as much as you're guessing. Also, do not relax your clients first. Relaxing your client doesn't have any impact in trying to find out what the real story is, or put them into trance, or start the hypnosis first. If you're doing the more traditional stuff, yes, that's what they'll do. They'll relax the client, put them into trance, which serves no purpose. The more therapeutic way, which is what we teach, what we recommend, and what we tell you guys to do, is you have to explore the problem as you have no idea what the problem is that needs to be fixed, especially when you take out all your assumptions. So you want to do these other things first. Your client's dialogue, the initial dialogue, is key to know what to do next. So if you're stuck wondering what to do next, is because you haven't asked your client the right questions, because they'll give you clues as where the session needs to go, which is ultimately the hypnotic interview. Number two, this is one of my favorites. Ask a client to recap. So if your client gives you 100 words of just verbal fluff as soon as you ask them what the problem is, tell your clients, look, I'm a little bit slow today, or I can't follow you. Can you just repeat or recap what you've just said, but give me the least amount of words? Okay. If you give them the idea that give me the least amount of words and to recap, they tend to do that. And you'll find that 99% of the stuff they've told you is all irrelevant. Now, I'm not putting into the understanding how to spot unconscious moments, what to do with those unconscious moments and the categories of unconscious moments, because that's really advanced. That's not what we're talking about here today. Yes, we do teach that. But for now, just tell your client, look, I'm a little bit lost here. Can you just tell me exactly what you want out of today's session or what the problem is, but just give me the least amount of words. That tends to help really, really well. Number three, this is important as well, relative to the problem. If what they are saying is relative to the symptom, the problem, the session, let your clients vent, guys. Some of your best therapy sessions will be clients who have never been heard before, or talk to their friends and family, or husband or wife, and are interrupted all the time with that person trying to solve their problem. On the transverse of that, we want to just let them talk if it's relative. So you have to assess, is what are they saying relative to the problem, relative to the session? If they're going off on long tangents, you have to obviously interrupt that, and I'll show you how to do that. But sometimes letting your client vent, and I've had this numerous times with real clients, even in our ACH demos, where the demo subject will just vent and vent and vent and solve their own problem. And the therapist in that demonstration pretty much says nothing, and the client comes out with a massive breakthrough, okay? You want to be watching for unconscious moments and draw attention back to those moments, as you guys know. If it's not relative to the problem, there's too many tangents, they're going off in weird spaces and weird places, get them back on track by asking them again, what's the problem with the least amount of words? Very, very simple. Just rudely interrupt them. Just say, whoa, 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 just hang on a second. What's the problem? Tell me the least amount of words. That's literally how I frame it. That's literally how I deliver it. A little bit of a pause. Be quite intrusive. Don't worry about if you're being rude to interrupt them, because if you let them go on too long, before long, a whole hour's gone by and they turn around and say, well, nothing's been solved. It's because you didn't interrupt them, guys. Okay. And again, don't go back to number one. Number four, incorrect recaps. A favorite one. I got this from Erickson. I love doing this as well. It's a bit of tongue in cheek, but it really works perfectly. Purposely recap what they've said with mistakes. So let your client talk, maybe give you 30, 40, 50 words, and then go, okay, just so I make sure I'm on the same page, is what you're telling me this, this, and this, and throw in some mistakes, throw in some things that they didn't even say, because then your client will look and say, well, no, that's not it at all. What it really is, and they'll actually recap what they really mean. Your clients will correct you and tend to tell you what they really need to. So this is just another way to ask them to recap. Erickson was big on this. There's a lot of videos online with him doing this, and it's really, really cool, works really, really well. and your client will tend to get themselves back on track and really tell you what they should have told you all along. Works really well. Number 5, this is what I was talking about. You can rudely interrupt your clients, guys. If it's not relative and venting is going around in circles, interrupt them with purpose. What I tend to do, and when I was doing this on Zoom, or even when I had Zoom, if I ever had the camera on, definitely in face-to-face sessions where I could see the client, I literally used to stick my hand up and go, whoa, 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 whoa. Obviously, you can't see me doing that. Hands extended out in front of me, and I'll be as rude as I need to be and say, whoa, hang on, whoa, 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 slow down a bit. What's the problem? Tell me the least amount of words because I'm not following. It's literally what I said to them. I'll interrupt. I don't care if they find me rude. I don't care if I'm interrupting them, because if I don't, that tangent will go on and on and on. And again, guys, you can do all of these things in any order, any one that you like. Just don't regress back to number 1. You don't know what their problem is because your client doesn't. So don't assume that you do. So ask them to recap with the least amount of words. Make sure you tell them least amount of words. Categorize, is what they're venting relative? If it is, let them vent. If it's not, you have to interrupt them. Or you can incorrectly recap on purpose, make those mistakes so they tell you what they really need to. Lastly, stick your hand out, interrupt them at any point it's going too far, get them to recap. Don't worry about being rude, guys. So these are the easiest things to do if your clients talk too much, okay? If you as the therapist talk way too much, you also need to do this stuff for yourself, okay? So there you have it, guys. Let me know in the comments below which one you found most helpful. And thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.